God says, "Listen closely, my beloved soul. I am right here with you, closer than your breath, nearer than your next thought. You do not have to search for me or wonder whether you have drifted too far. This moment itself is proof of closeness. Even when words are few, even when silence feels heavy, presence remains. You are not alone in this space. You never were. There are times when life becomes quiet in a way that feels confusing, when noise fades and you are left only with yourself. In those moments, the heart often asks questions it does not speak out loud. Questions about direction, about worth, about whether anyone truly sees what you are carrying. I see you. I see the parts of you that stay strong even when tired. I see the parts of you that keep going even when clarity feels distant. You may not always feel supported, but support has been steady around you. It does not always arrive as answers or sudden change. Often, it arrives as endurance, as the ability to take one more step, as the calm that shows up unexpectedly in the middle of pressure. That calm is not accidental. It is a reminder that you are being held, even when you do not realize it. Stay here for a moment longer and let your breathing slow. You do not need to prove anything right now. About you has been wasted. Every experience shaped your awareness. Every pause refined your understanding. Every moment of waiting strengthened your ability to listen inwardly. I am right here with you in the middle of those reflections. Not observing from a distance, but sharing this space with you. When you felt like you were carrying everything alone, you were being supported in ways you could not measure. Support does not always remove challenges. Sometimes it strengthens the one facing them. You are stronger now than you were before, not because life became easier, but because you learned how to remain steady within it. As you remain with this message, notice how tension begins to ease. That easing is important. Tension often comes from trying to hold everything together by yourself. You were never meant to do that. You were meant to breathe, to pause, and to trust that you are not navigating alone. Trust grows quietly, and it grows here. You may have felt moments of doubt, moments when you questioned your choices or replayed decisions in your mind. Doubt does not make you weak. It makes you human. And even in doubt, you were guided toward growth. Growth does not demand certainty. It asks for willingness, and you have shown that again and again. Remain present with this truth. You are not behind. You are not disconnected. You are exactly where you need to be to receive calm, clarity, and reassurance. This moment is not interrupting your life, it is supporting it. It is reminding you that you do not have to carry the weight of everything all at once. As this message continues, let yourself remain in the quiet that has begun to settle around you. Quiet does not mean emptiness. Quiet is where clarity begins to form without pressure. When the noise of expectations fades, the heart can finally speak honestly. You do not need to search for meaning right now. Meaning is already moving toward you, gently, at a pace that will not overwhelm you. You have carried responsibilities that others never noticed. You have shown strength in moments when it would have been easier to give up. Even when you felt uncertain, you continued forward because something inside you knew that stopping was not the answer. That inner knowing did not come from nowhere. It grew through experience, through patience, and through learning how to listen to yourself more deeply. There were moments when you felt disconnected, as if you were moving through life on autopilot. In those moments, you wondered whether anyone truly understood what you were carrying. But even then, presence remained. Support remained. Sometimes support shows up not as solutions, but as resilience. The ability to keep going is itself a sign that you were never alone. Stay present here and notice how your thoughts soften. When thoughts soften, the heart feels safer. Safety allows honesty. Honesty allows healing. You are allowed to acknowledge what you feel without judgment. You are allowed to admit when you are tired. You are allowed to rest without guilt. Rest does not mean you are giving up. Rest means you are allowing yourself to recover strength. You may have questioned whether you made the right choices or whether different paths would have led to easier outcomes. Those questions are natural. But every path you walked taught you something essential. Lessons gained through experience stay with you far longer than answers given too quickly. You are wiser now than you realize, not because everything is clear, but because you have learned how to navigate uncertainty with grace. As you continue listening, let reassurance settle gently. You do not need to rush the future. You do not need to compare your pace with anyone else's. Your journey has its own rhythm, and that rhythm suits who you are becoming. When you honor your rhythm, progress becomes steady rather than exhausting. There is also permission here to release what has been weighing on you. Release does not mean forgetting or ignoring. It means loosening your grip on what you can no longer control. Control often creates tension. Trust creates space. Space allows new understanding to enter naturally. You are learning how to trust without losing awareness, how to let go without feeling lost. Remain here with this understanding. You are not being asked to have everything figured out. You are being reminded that you are supported while you figure things out. Support does not always change circumstances immediately. Often, it strengthens you so that when circumstances change, you are ready. You may feel a quiet confidence beginning to form. Not loud or dramatic, but steady and grounding. This confidence comes from knowing that you can handle what comes next, even if it looks different from what you expected. You have already adapted more times than you can count. Adaptation is a sign of inner strength, not weakness. Let gratitude arise gently, not because life has been perfect, but because growth has been real. Gratitude for endurance. Gratitude for insight. Gratitude for moments of calm that appeared just when you needed them. Gratitude anchors you in the present and keeps your heart open to what is still unfolding. Stay here a little longer. This message is not rushing toward an ending. It is unfolding layer by layer, just as clarity does. What settles within you now will guide your next steps naturally, without force or fear. You are not behind. You are not disconnected. You are accompanied, supported, and seen. And as this message continues, that truth will become even clearer. I am right here with you as you breathe, as you listen, as you allow this steadiness to settle. Let it settle fully. There is no hurry. What comes next will unfold in its own time, and you will meet it with balance rather than fear, with clarity rather than confusion. Stay here. This is only the beginning of what continues to unfold. As this message continues, notice how something subtle is changing inside you. It may not be loud or dramatic, but it is real. A sense of inner steadiness is forming, the kind that does not depend on circumstances outside you. This steadiness comes from understanding that you are not navigating life on your own strength alone. You are being carried through moments you once thought would break you, and yet here you are, still standing, still breathing, still open. You may begin to recognize that the person you are now is not the same as the one you were before your hardest seasons. You are softer in some ways, stronger in others. You have learned how to feel deeply without being consumed by emotion. You have learned how to pause before reacting. These changes did not happen by accident. They were shaped quietly through reflection, endurance, and moments when you chose to stay present even when it felt uncomfortable. There were times when you felt lost, when direction seemed unclear and motivation felt distant. In those moments, you kept moving not because you had all the answers, but because something within you refused to give up. That quiet persistence is part of who you are. It is evidence of growth that cannot be measured by outcomes alone. Growth like this builds character, clarity, and resilience that lasts. As you stay with this message, notice how your sense of self feels clearer. You are beginning to understand what matters to you beyond expectations and pressure. You are less willing to carry what drains you and more attentive to what nourishes you. This awareness is powerful. It allows you to choose peace without guilt and to step away from noise without apology. There is also a release happening now. Release of old self-doubt. Release of the belief that you must always be strong for everyone else. You are allowed to be supported. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to receive care without earning it. This permission changes how you relate to yourself and to life. You may feel moments of gratitude surfacing unexpectedly. Gratitude for lessons learned the hard way. Gratitude for strength you did not know you had. Gratitude for the calm that arrives. Now, even if nothing outside has changed yet. Gratitude does not deny struggle, it honors resilience. It reminds you how far you have come. As confidence deepens, you may notice that comparison loses its hold. You no longer need to measure your journey against others. Your path has its own rhythm, and that rhythm suits who you are becoming. Moving in harmony with it preserves your energy and protects your peace. This is not settling for less, it is choosing what is right. Remain present with this growing confidence. It does not rush you. It does not demand perfection. It simply reminds you that you are capable of meeting what comes next with balance and clarity. You do not need to force outcomes or chase certainty. What aligns with you will meet you naturally, at the right time. This part of the message is not about reaching an ending. It is about recognizing continuity. You are continuing, growing, and becoming more grounded with each step. The calm you feel now is not temporary. It is something you can return to whenever you pause and breathe. Stay here a little longer. Let this understanding settle fully. What comes next will build naturally on the steadiness forming now, guiding you forward with trust rather than fear, and with confidence rather than doubt. As this message reaches its gentle completion, let the calm you are feeling remain with you instead of fading away. Completion does not arrive as a sudden shift or a loud moment. It arrives as a quiet certainty, a sense that you can exhale without losing momentum. What has settled within you now is not an ending, it is a steady ground that will support every step you take next. You may notice that the weight you carried earlier feels lighter, not because everything has changed, but because you no longer feel alone in carrying it. When support is felt inwardly, burdens become manageable. This steadiness allows you to face what comes next with patience rather than pressure. Patience does not delay growth, it makes growth sustainable. Carry this calm into your everyday moments. Let it guide how you respond rather than react. Let it influence how you choose rest when needed and action when clarity appears. These small choices matter more than dramatic changes. They shape your days quietly and protect your peace consistently. You are allowed to move forward without rushing. You are allowed to pause without guilt. You are allowed to trust your inner sense of direction even when outcomes are not fully visible yet. Trust does not require certainty, it grows through presence and honesty. Presence is what you practiced here. As you continue, remember that progress does not always look like movement. Sometimes it looks like balance. Balance allows you to hold responsibilities without being overwhelmed and to pursue goals without losing yourself. This balance has been forming within you, step by step, through reflection and resilience. Let gratitude remain gentle and natural. Gratitude for the strength you discovered along the way. Gratitude for the patience you learned. Gratitude for the calm that now feels accessible. Gratitude grounds you in the present and opens you to receive what aligns next without fear. This message does not close doors, it opens awareness. Awareness of your rhythm. Awareness of what nourishes you. Awareness of the peace that is available when you choose alignment over urgency. With this awareness, you will recognize what belongs to you by the steadiness it brings rather than the effort it demands. If this message resonated with your soul, take a quiet moment to like this video so this calm energy can reach more hearts. If you feel guided, share it with someone who may need reassurance today. For daily spiritual messages that bring clarity, comfort, and balance, subscribe and stay connected. And if you believe and receive this message, gently comment Amen as a sign of faith and gratitude. Carry this steadiness forward. Let it guide your choices, soften your thoughts, and support your journey. You are not alone in this. You are accompanied, supported, and seen, and that truth will continue to meet you whenever you pause and listen. If this message resonated with your soul, don't forget to like and share so this divine energy reaches more hearts. Subscribe now for daily spiritual messages and comment, Amen, to affirm your faith and blessings.